Um, I like it better at Azusa. Just kidding. Yeah, it's good. No, I have to be at Azusa High School for our training. I don't know what.
They're robbing you from a...
That's okay. You guys. So it's going to be a catch-up day, open day. I'm not going to give you anything to do. Just chill, relax, enjoy. Okay? Okay. Pretty cool. So we got this guy right here, and let's go ahead and listen to this video and see what he has to say. First of all, this is about backgrounds. So you said you like that? You like it?
Yeah.
So sixth period, why don't you go filming with it then, or something like that? You know, you're doing microphone. So does that have a microphone port recording? Okay. So what we did was we created a new document called history, and we went to Wikipedia, and we copied this paragraph under history, and we edit paste special. All right. So for those of you who are not here, okay, text only, press OK, and that's what we did. Okay, so now we're at this video. So we're going to be focused on CSS Designer. All righty, and this is kind of really confusing. It takes a lot of getting used to. It's kind of challenging, but again, we're not in any rush to finish this. Okay, this is pretty much. You guys may find this hard to believe, but we're almost at the end of Dreamweaver. Okay.
Already?
Yeah, already. I mean, thank you, Jerry. So we just have a few things. After that, it's just practice and show. I like you to do your own website, and I like you to get a client website. So, you know, it's sort of like there's not much more to it. There is a little bit of learning how to upload files and download files, but I don't think we can do that here at the district. And so let me see if I can actually turn on, if you'll pardon me. All right. So you should have this paragraph here, and as I said before, we have CSS Designer. Let's listen to this guy as he kind of explains everything.
I want to get into styling content. Going beyond this boring white background with black text, I actually want to add a background, either a color or an image. So that's where I'm going to start, but this means I'm going to have to set up the structure for the styles. Okay, so this is going to be really powerful. And in fact, right here, if I click on body, that's where I want to add the CSS for the background of the page for the body. I'm going to add CSS, and I'm going to use the CSS Designer panel, selecting that, and I will minimize this other panel down here by clicking in the gray there. We need all this space. Coming right up here, we're going to create a new CSS file. Okay, so this new CSS file is going to be linked, so I can have other HTML pages linked to it. So I only have to do this once. It's going to be in my website. Here's my index.html. I'm going to create a new folder called CSS, like that, create, and it's going to be called styles.css. All my styles are going to live in here. So I just need to set up this once, clicking OK. There we go. Styles CSS. I can expand out these other sections. I'm not going to worry about media right now. The selectors is what I'm going to add next. So,
what he did was something that was kind of a little bit too much. So what he did was he created a separate page called styles.css, as you can see right there. So this is where all your nice little nooks and crannies and things like that. So you know, you can definitely do that. I'm going to write this instead. So you can create a styles, and I hope you can read my handwriting, styles.css, okay? Or you can do it in Dreamweaver. And DW, by the way, stands for Dreamweaver. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do, because what he did was, if I went back a little bit, okay, he linked a CSS style. We can do that, and maybe we should follow what he did, okay? So let's go back a little bit, okay? And let's see, I'm going to go back way back.
But this means I'm going to have to set up the structure for the styles, okay? So this is going to be really powerful. And in fact, right here, if I click on body, that's where I want to add the CSS
Okay.
for the background of the page.
So just so you know, we haven't really learned HTML yet, but here it is right here. So there's two sections here. Okay, one is called the head section. Okay, as you can see right here, this is called the head section. Okay, and the head section, you might get tested on this, but I'll have the notes for you, is basically unseeable content. In other words, you can't really see anything inside the head section, but it's mostly used for SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, tags, and page description. Okay. There we go. So again, stuff you really can't see, but also the title tag. Okay, so you may want to go ahead in here where it says title. You may want to go ahead and write robotics, okay, and then type in history. Okay, so of course the title tag is really important. It's important for SEO, search engine optimization. Okay, so I was talking to a person yesterday. Some of you guys met her. Her name is Amy Fold. She came as a guest speaker. She's in charge of the internship program here on campus, and so we're going to be looking for companies to offer jobs and internship opportunities for you guys. You guys remember Fabian Alvarez? Anybody remember Fabian? No?
I think so.
Well, anyways, Fabian, okay, is basically interning with the Burbank International Film Festival. Okay, so I'm just saying that's really big. Okay, so let's see if everybody has the purple screen. So you guys should. Richard? Richard is not updated. So we got to fix it. We got to fix that, Richard. Okay. All right. So anyways, so what I'm going to say is right here is the body tag, okay? The body tag is what he's talking about. And you notice that all these spaces, if you have a space down here, okay, that means the entire thing is, that's what the paragraph is. And I'm still undecided if I should teach you guys some HTML. Okay, so body tag is viewable content. Okay, hopefully you can see it. All right, hey, better than writing on the chalkboard or whiteboard, whatever. Okay, so you're not signed in. What the heck do you mean I'm not signed in? Yes, I am. You gotta be kidding me. Too much silliness. Okay.
I'm going to add CSS, and I'm going to use the CSS designer panel, selecting that, and I will minimize this other panel down here by clicking in the gray there. We need all this space. Coming right up here, we're going to create a new CSS
Okay, so let's do this, please. Okay, let's watch
file. Okay, so this new CSS file is going to be linked, so I can have other HTML pages linked to it. So I only have to do this once. It's going to be in my website. Here's my index.html. I'm going to create a new folder called CSS.
I won't do
like that. Create. And it's going to be called styles.css. All my styles are going to live in here. So I just need to set up this once. Clicking OK. There we go.
Okay.
Styles.
So we're not going to do that. Okay. And it's really not important. Let me show you what we will do. Okay. There's a couple of things we can do. We can notice here it says add new CSS, add a new CSS source. So what we can do here is we can go ahead and click, and it gives us the option to create one right here. So instead of doing what he did, we're going to do what I did. Hopefully this is a lot more easier. So everybody please do this. Create a new source, or CSS file. So should I go back and do it again? Okay, if I'm going too fast, you need to slow me down, and obviously you got to pay close attention. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to click on the plus sign, and then it'll say create a new CSS file. Okay, and oops, wrong one. I'm sorry, you click on this, add a new CSS source. So click here, create a new CSS file, and then we're gonna basically right here, okay, and let's just call it styles.css, okay? Styles.css, okay? What he did was he manually created it, okay? And make sure the linked is selected. Okay, make sure linked is selected. Okay. So once again, what we did was we are in CSS Designer. Okay, I'm going to write it down here. I should type instead. CSS. I won't do this again. CSS D. At least I can type in cursive. CSS Designer, and then you click on the Add New button right here, okay? You're going to click on the Add New CSS Source button. Okay? And then it'll open up a dialog box. You type in CSS style, make sure linked is selected, and then press OK. Or actually, I'm sorry, before you do that, if you've done it, I'm sorry, click on Browse and put it inside your robotics folder, which it should automatically be because the other folder is there. And go ahead and up here, where it says, actually just select practice. And I guess up here, just type in type in styles.css. Okay, again, and then press save. All right, is everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay, Sonia, good? All right. All right, so then we're going to press save, and it should still be there, and then press OK. So as you can see right here, that styles, now by the way, it's kind of crunched in there. Feel free to go here and kind of bring this down a little bit to give yourself more. So we're going to go over what media stands for, selectors, properties, all that fun stuff. So a little bit, this is a little more technical than what you're used to. We don't need this stuff right here, as he said, so we may want to bring this all down. Okay, the DOM, so you can just bring all that down like so. Anybody need me to look over their shoulder? What's that? Save it to the root directory of practice02. Okay. So if I was to show you the practice02 folder, I believe it's under downloads, infotech right here, and practice02, you'll see that styles is right there. Okay. It's really a text file. Alrighty? Okay, does anybody need me to look over their shoulder? Alrighty, so as you can see, this is basically it. So let's go continue to hear what he has to say.
You can expand out these other sections. I'm not going to worry about media right now. The selectors is what I'm going to add next. So what selector do I want to use? Well, if I select body right here and I click plus, it's going to add body right there. Okay, so there's that body, and then I can dive into the properties for this body tag right here.
Okay, so what he did was he assigned a selector. So a selector. Okay, so pay close attention because this is hard to understand. So a selector is actually an HTML tag. And it's going to be kind of challenging to teach a bunch of students who really don't know HTML. But that's okay. In a way, you don't know, but this is a good way of finding out. I'm doing reverse psychology. I'm putting you through the test so we can learn the lessons rather than learning the lessons and taking a test. So we're going to dive right in. You're going to learn through experience. So it's an HTML tag. So what he did was he chose the body tag. Okay, and once you highlight the body tag, okay, so I type in highlight the body tag. Alrighty, so you highlight the body tag, and then you press the selector. Alrighty, so that's what he did. I'll repeat what he said so you can see.
Select body right here and click plus.
So what he did was he highlighted.
Add body right there. Okay.
So what he did first was he highlighted the body tag. Okay, so that's what you guys got to do. So what you're going to do now is you're going to look in your code. okay, and you're going to highlight body, okay? So you're going to first highlight, okay? So first, okay, I'm going to write it here. First, highlight the tag. In this case, the body tag. Highlight the tag, okay? In this case, the body tag, and then press the plus sign on selector. Okay. All right. So let's do this. Okay, so highlight the body tag right here. Make sure it's highlighted. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go, don't worry about media, as you said. We are going to go down to selector. So like I said, no worries about media. You can actually hide it if you like. Okay. So you see how it's sources. Okay. So again, I can actually hide everything, but sources, you want to make sure styles is highlighted because that's what we're working on. And then here's selector. So press the plus sign and notice body is right there. Everybody good? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Hand raise over there? Okay, so this is where I got to go walk around, and I better because this is kind of confusing. Okay.
So there's that body, and then I can dive into the properties for this body tag right here, okay? And you'll see there's nothing down here. If I happen to know some things, have them memorized, well, you know what? I don't have them memorized, which is why I have Dreamweaver. So it makes it easy. I can turn off show set properties and just give me all the properties that I can add. This is all the CSS in style.
Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. So if you look at the properties, okay, so make sure, you got to make sure things are highlighted. So you got to make sure styles is highlighted, body is highlighted. Then we got to go down to properties, which is, where is it? Oh, it's over here. Ooh, what's it doing there? I don't want it there. All right, everybody have properties below? Okay, I don't know why mine's over there, but it's kind of stupid. Okay, that's better. All right. So, all right. So what they did was, if you kind of look here, okay, and I'm going to ask that you, because everything's kind of scrunched up, okay, so I'm going to try to move everything up a little bit, and sorry I got to do this, but I got to. Otherwise, so you should, like I said, you should have nothing under media. You should have styles located. All right, and now you see that here. You see these four icons here? This is where all the magic happens when it comes to style sheets. Okay, so this is layout. This is what we use when we want to put different like images at a certain spot, text at a certain spot. Okay, even tables at certain spots. Here is text. Here's text control. This is border. Okay, believe it or not, when you create a table, you can actually curve the edges. And I've had clients who wants that. They want to see curved edges. They don't want the hard edges. Okay. Here is the background. That's what we're going to do right now. And here is more. And if you click on it, there's really not much more. So just right now, just go ahead and click on background, which is this little diagonal lines over here. All right. And you're going to find this pretty fascinating. So let's go ahead and keep going.
I can work with. Okay. So again, I can scroll through this list, but I typically jump to those sections from layout to text to borders to background to other, and you guessed it, we want background right in here. We can see all these properties. We can change the background color. As you can see, me adjust this maybe to, well, it's kind of looks like eggplant color, something kind of like that.
Please don't do anything.
It's changed.
You follow
so that's
me,
what's
not
happening
this
right
guy.
now. I think that's fine for now,
No,
but
sucks.
really I want to go beyond that. I actually want to add an image. Okay, so right over here, clicking on this folder icon, I can browse to an image. Okay, so if you have access to the exercise files, go into assets, grab that background right there. Okay,
that's really
happens
hideous.
to be a JPEG. A painting file will also work. And as I select OK, this is important because it says, hey, you know, you've got this outside of the root folder. I really can't keep track of your whole hard drive. So just copy it to where it should be. Do you want to copy it to your local
So this
folder?
proves right here, let me stop him right here. So this proves your images has to be in the same root directory as everything else, from your HTML to your CSS It's got to be all in the same directory. Otherwise, you get this message, okay? The file is outside of the root directory. Okay, do you want to make a copy? So the first thing it asks, let's make a copy of wherever that. That's pretty ingenious for the developers to think that. So if you have your background on, say, practice 01, and you got and that's what you choose, it'll make a copy of it to where it should be. Because what's going to happen is once you upload it, okay, once you publish it, it's going to be broken. The image will not appear. It's got to all be in the same directory structure. Alrighty, so with that being said, let me see if I can kind of mess around here. Alright, so there are other things you can do, but let's go ahead and listen to him and give him the respect.
Clicking yes right there says, hey, where would you like to copy it to? Well, let's make a new folder just to make everything clean. Images, like that, typing that. Just go ahead and put it in there, okay? Just like that, you can see it does the obvious. I'm going to worry about changing the text later. In fact, I can change it right now. Text, changing the color just like I did with the background.
Okay, so he goes through the text, which we will not really go into at this point. So you have a choice. You can take about 5 minutes to find a background image. Okay, or let's just do this really quickly. Okay, so if you notice that the background color right here, okay, so everybody, you should have this. So click around, okay, and find a nice background color, okay, and you'll notice that, remember this hex number. This is 3 digits that describe the color that you have. You can use a slider, you can use whatever you like, whatever works for you. I would suggest a lighter color, okay, and once you're done with it, go ahead and press return, and there you see that the background does change. Okay, everybody with me? Okay, who needs me to look over the background? Okay, all right, what's up? Okay, so if we got the, oops, I should have paused. All right, so next thing I'm going to show you to do is, as you recall, we had gradients. We created a gradient in Photoshop. Well, you can do that here without Photoshop. So everybody click on where it says gradient. Okay. And now what I'd like you to do is the top, it's going to go from top to bottom. Okay. So if you were to click on the top, okay, actually let's go ahead and give the top a color, something like this, and the bottom a color, and I'm going to give it a white color. Okay. And then you can control the gradient a little bit more, see, by making it right there. Okay, everybody with me? Okay. Anybody need me to look over their shoulder?
Yes. So how do I fix this? Because it's like 3 different ingredients. How do I remove one so it can be transparent better? Oh.
Okay. So what Owen found out was that you can actually add a third gradient. Okay, and I'm not going to have time to write this down. So you can actually click on the plus sign, I believe, right? You can click on the plus sign and a new, actually, sorry, that's not it.
You even have to click on the plus sign.
Yeah, no, you don't have to create. So the plus sign will put this as one in memory. So if I clicked here, I can actually add a new gradient. And I'll just do that, okay? And I'll go ahead and make it a dark, or maybe even a lighter, like maybe a gray, and kind of bring this down. So it goes from blue to gray to white. All right, and at this point, what I'm going to do is press return, okay? Nothing? Well, I don't think we're done yet. So where it says repeat, okay, you want to click on repeat X, or repeat X, yeah. All right, and now what we'll do is we'll save it, or if you want to do a live view on it, There it is right there, see? So you can do live view on it. If you don't like that background that you put in, you can go back to white. So here's the problem. It went through the X, repeat X. So everybody stay on live view. Okay, now let's try repeat Y. Okay, that sucks.
Oh, that's
Okay, so now let's go ahead to repeat. Or maybe, you know what, this is really, okay, background size. Let's call it cover. Or maybe you can do 100%. All right, so at any rate, it's within the body and it's not covering because we didn't add much, okay? But let's see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna do this so you don't have to do this yet. So you notice that as I continue to add more, the gradient goes down. Okay, so at any rate, I don't want to have that. So go back to background. So what you're gonna have to do, like I said, click on background. I put background size. I chose %. Okay, all the way down here, %, 100%. And set background, what is this? Set background, no repeat. So let's go ahead and make sure it repeats. Okay, so therefore it kind of, well, I don't like no repeat. Let's go back to repeat. I mean, no, it says no repeat. So let's do that because it's, I'm just trying to see the best way possible. Also, where it says background attachment, you want to choose fixed. Okay, because watch what happens. Well, you can't see it here. What's going to happen is if you am I recording this? I hope. Okay, if I choose fixed, that means the text will move, but the background stays fixed. Okay, so you want to do that. Everybody, please do this. Okay, is this a little confusing? Good. Huh? Okay. Hold on. Let's pause.